Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Huncho J23, and you are now tuned in to the latest, hottest, most episodic show on all social media platforms. That is Independent Scene, the podcast. I'm your host, Huncho J23. I want to welcome you guys to the platform, welcome you guys to the show. We got a real dope show today. This is a special edition. We got a really dope guest coming through, chopping it up with us. I definitely can't wait to chop it up with him, and he is already in the building. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest at this time. He is my homie, the bro. GeminiThaKidd. Let's get it. Yo, what's good, my
Oh
boy?
man,
What's up, man? How you been, man?
pretty good.
That's what's up. I want to say I'm truly honored, man, to have you on the show, man. I've been trying to get you for a minute.
I know, man. That's my bad. That is so much my bad. I've been a little busy with a lot of stuff, with a lot of things going on. But hey, I'm here now. I promise I'm here.
Most definitely, man. You know, man, I got to say this, man, before we get started, man. I have watched you, man, for I don't know how long, and when I tell you, I am truly just blown away by your work ethic, man. It truly it truly blows me, man. But definitely salute to you on everything you got going on, man. And I definitely can't wait to see what's next for you. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, you know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah, I
Most
got a
definitely.
lot of stuff coming up. A lot of hard work and a lot of grinding and just consistency. I guess is really what it is.
Okay, okay. Well, first of all, like I said, welcome to the platform, welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want you to introduce yourself to the people, let the people know who you are, and then we're gonna jump right into it, man.
Okay, so I am Gemini the Kid, this upcoming YouTuber. I work hard on everything I do. I love comedy. I want to explore all aspects of pretty much anything that has to do with making people laugh and making someone enjoy their day, just to wake up and be happy to just pursue whatever dream that you are trying to pursue. Pretty much.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right. Well, with that being said, again, welcome. So we're just gonna jump right into it, my guy.
Okay.
So talk to us about comedy, man. You mentioned you know you do comedy and things like that. What inspired you to want to do comedy?
To be honest, I've always been such a funny person. Not gonna lie to you, I've been told I was funny ever since I was like, let's say, like middle school. I used to tell jokes all the time. Like I used to make people laugh just by doing random funny stuff. Like I wasn't always that joke cracker to like where they was like, oh, they would make fun of each other. I was just that goofy person that would just say off the wall like lines and be funny and like just pretty much be myself to where it's like comedy just became pretty much like I already knew I was like growing up to be a funny person, but I guess it didn't really strike me that I was really that funny until like late middle school, almost high school, because people was always telling me like, "Hey man, you're funny," I was always having people laughing and everything like that. But like I just knew I thought I was just like, okay, I just throw comedy jokes every now and then. Everybody's funny sometimes when they want to be, but then it's like I started to pick up on it more. I was like, bro, I really can kind of do this. Like I am making a lot of people laugh. People are really enjoying what I do. So I just try to do a bunch of random funny stuff just to be me.
Okay, okay, and and there's definitely nothing wrong with that. You know, like you said, everybody needs a good laugh. You know what I'm saying? In certain situations, man, you know, there is so much that's going on all over the world. You know, with there's been a whole lot of death upon the land, as I say, and in these moments, in these times, laughter, as they say, is good for the soul.
Oh yeah.
So, it's definitely good that someone like yourself can, step out that box and really, be the one to be like, okay, you know what, you may be having a bad day, but I'm gonna make you laugh at some point, at random. So,
Right.
definitely salutes to you, man. So, all right. So now my next thing, talk to us about this YouTube, man. What got you into doing?
Okay, so what got me started with YouTube is always the funniest thing for me. So what got me started was I was living with my sister at the time, and while I was staying with my sister, I used to watch YouTube all the time. I'm talking like all the time. Go to work, get home, YouTube. Get out of school, YouTube. So like I have very big inspirations on YouTube. So it almost made me look at it from like a younger standpoint of like, bro, I've been watching YouTube since I started like since like 10. So to watch YouTube and know and like to see how it looks for them, and it's almost like, oh, they're gaining all this clout because of the stuff that they want to do, and it's not really because of the clout, but it's like they're enjoying themselves and they're sharing their passion that they like to do with everybody on the platform. So then when I was staying with my sister, I was like, bro, if instead of watching it, why can't I do that? Like if they can do it, why can't I? Now, at first I was a little skeptical about it because I was like, bro, I don't know if I could actually do it. Like I'm scared. Like I've always been like I had to like YouTube actually helped me get out of my bubble, to be honest with you, because I was always an extroverted person, but YouTube actually pushed that limit to where it was like you can be so extroverted, but then there's different aspects of extrovertedness. Because I was always like, okay, yes, I was scared because once you first make a YouTube, it's like, okay, are you gonna make it? Like, am I gonna fail? So all these negative thoughts were in my brain, but I was like, bro, I can't let that get to me because none of my YouTuber stars never let it get to them. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna start
Right.
somewhere. So I started off small. I kept going. I kept getting consistent, and as I kept going, the extrovertness I was talking about. So it went from sitting at home and making funny videos to going out in public now and asking questions and doing vlogs and just trying to do like different styles of certain things so that way I could just incorporate it more. But yeah, pretty much the reason why I started YouTube is because I've always had like after people telling me that I like to make people laugh, and I thought instead of just sharing it with my friends, why can't I share it with a whole platform? So I wanted to be like the people I watch and be like, okay, I can make people laugh, not just the people around me, but the people that don't know me yet, but that will get to know me.
Okay. Okay. All right. I feel that. I feel that. All right. So tell us a little bit about the name Gemini the Kid. Where did that all come from?
Okay, my name. So I always get backlash. So when I don't always get backlash, just every blue moon, someone always be like, Gemini the Kid, you're not no kid, you're a grown man. And then like I was like, okay, so the name Gemini the Kid actually it's really weird, but it's actually cool to me. Okay, so I was sitting at the house while I was making my YouTube channel. I was like, bro, I gotta have a good name. Like I need something that's gonna pop, something that nobody got, but like everybody can like kind of remember. So I was like, okay, cool. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? So then I started thinking about zodiac signs. I'm not like heavy into it, but I was like in the zodiac signs. So I was like, okay, I'm a Gemini. So I was like, okay, Gemini, but Gemini what? Like, so I started playing around with different names. But then I was like, I'm like a big kid, but like a very mature big kid. But like I'm like a big kid. I'm like I like to have fun. I like to be relatable. I'm always cracking jokes. I want to go out and do stuff that's fun and everything. So like you could say I'm almost like a grown kid that like everybody has that grown kid in them. But for me to be more relatable, it's like, okay, so what if I just put that at the end of that? So it's like Gemini is what I am. You already know that I'm an outgoing person, the kid, because I like to get out there and have fun and, be very mature, but get to do stuff that kids normally do, but be grown enough to do it now, right? But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's where Gemini the Kid came from, to be honest.
Okay, I feel that. I feel that. So now, what's been the most rewarding part of your entire career that you've built for yourself? Like, what's been the most rewarding?
To be honest, the most rewarding part about it is the recognition. Like, I'm not in YouTube for clout. I'm really not. But it feels so good when people tell me like, bro, keep going, keep grinding, keep on your stuff. And then like, can I tell like a short little story real quick?
Go ahead.
So I was at this old job back in where I used to live back in Tennessee. It was a factory job. And so I'm always promoting, always. So I have these little YouTube cards that I used to promote with, and I still do. So I be handing them out to different people just so I can get my name out there. So I handed one of my cards out to this lady. Mind you, I've never met this lady before in my life. Never. So we was in like a little meeting thing. We was like in training and everything. So I gave her one of my YouTube cards and she said, I don't watch YouTube, but I'm sure my kids will, so I'll give this to them. So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, if you don't watch it, it's fine. Kids, at least you're referring it to somebody. So I
Right.
gave her my card, and literally next day we get back because the training session was like a week or something. We get back in the same room, and this lady tells me, she said, I tried to give my kids your card, and she said that her kids said, hey, mom, how do you know Gemini the Kid? I've never met this lady before in my life. So when she said that, that kind of threw me. I was like, bro, is my name actually getting somewhere? Because I've never met this lady, but her kids know about me. Like,
Right.
I've never met her kids either. So I'm like, bro, that's crazy. So I guess the biggest thing for me is the recognition, to be honest. It's like people noticing, and it's starting to make me feel good about myself because it's like whatever I'm doing is actually working. So.
Okay. Okay. So real quick, talk to us real quick about your goals and aspirations for 2021. Like, what other goals have you set for yourself that you want to accomplish before the end of 2021?
So I'm on this journey. Every small, well, I would say small YouTuber right now, but I have big plans to be big things like names and lights and everything. But for right now, my sub, like I have a sub goal of 1,000 right now that I'm really trying to get to because at 1,000 subscribers, I don't know if you've seen, but somebody is going to be tasing me. I don't know who yet, but somebody's going to be tasing me at 1,000 subscribers, just so I could like, interact with my people because the biggest thing is interaction. But other than that, I also want to branch off into. I've actually been talking to my mom about it. She's kind of like my manager, so I've wanted to branch out into like maybe like public interviews, like other public interviews outside of what I do now, and public speaking, motivational speaking and stuff like that. But for the most part of this year is to just gain as many subscribers as I can and try to reach things and do different things that I've never done before to reach different people pretty much.
Okay. All right. I feel that. I feel that. So let me ask you this, man. Out of everything that you've ever done, man, has there been have you had those moments, man, where you thought to yourself, like, yo, like this ain't for me, or am I just doing this because, I feel like this is something I was destined to do? How did you figure out like this was something that you really was real deal passionate about?
So I'm not gonna lie to you. Every YouTuber has, if there is any YouTubers watching, every YouTuber has their moments. Actually, not even YouTubers. Everybody has their moments about what they dream to be, and it's like sometimes it can get very clouded at times. But I mean, to be honest, if you just stick through it, and then you just keep grinding, eventually it'll start to work out. So yeah, I've had my moments where I was like, bro, do I really want to do YouTube? Like, is this really what I want to do? Because normally right now for me, YouTube is more like a door open into what I really want to get into, which is like, it's another part of comedy that I'm still trying to figure myself out with. And to be honest, it's all of this to me is like, when I found out I really wanted to do it, it was like, I don't know how to really explain it to you, but it was just clicking moment in my head, like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like you're doing what you're supposed to be, because if you didn't, you would have fell off a long time ago. Because I have people that come to me that I first started off with like 4 years ago, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're still doing YouTube? I'm like, yes, yes, I am. I am. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. So, and when they ask me, it almost makes me look at myself like I'm proud, because it's just like, you know what? I really do like to do YouTube. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I really do like to do this. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So real quick, man, talk to us about some of your influences, man, because as at the top of the show, you mentioned, you're real big, and with comedy and things like that. But who has been some of your comedy influences that have, helped you to shape you into who you are today?
To be honest, it's always, I get this question a lot sometimes, and it's like, it's weird though, because this is okay. So I'll start with my first one. His name, he's a gamer. This is the very first YouTuber I've ever watched. His name is Dashy Games. For anybody who knows Dashy Games, shout out to y'all. But Dashy Games actually plays video games, and he's like a rage quitter, but he's very comical with it, and it was so inspirational to me, because it's just like, he is hilarious while he's playing these video games. This man is hilarious. Like he does the whole 9 yards, the skits, the music, all that, the comedy. It was very inspiring to me, and that's really what made me start to get into the YouTube series. And then like after I started watching him, I started branching off into other ones, and I found DDG. Now I've met DDG one time before, but it was at one of his concerts. But we actually got to speak for a couple of minutes, and when we got to speak, it was like, bro, I'm sitting here talking to one of the people that I look up to the most. Like, this is crazy. Like,
Right.
I told him, so what happened was, I told him, I said, bro, the next time I see you, I'm going to be up there with you. So he said, all right, bet, keep grinding, and I'll see you up there. I said, all right, cool. I'll be there when I get up there. I'll let you know when I'm here, man. But yeah, those two really were the biggest influence on me, comical wise. I promise you, they are hilarious, man, hilarious.
Okay, okay. So now, all right. So now I want to kind of switch gears a little bit. I want to kind of get into some entertainment and celebrity news. You know, we got so much going on in the entertainment field right now. You know, unfortunately, we just had the passing of, superstar, iconic legend, trailblazer DMX, who just recently passed away
Rest in
from a
peace.
heart attack. And I got to get your thoughts, man. Were you a DMX fan? You know, did you listen to his music? You know, what?
To be honest, I did dabble in some of his music, and very inspirational, man. Very inspirational person altogether. Love his whole grind. Love his all the support that he got when he died. It was just it was like a heartbreaking moment, because it was just like, man, like a legend gone like that. Like, it's crazy. Like, you don't really get to think like what is really going on in people's lives, and like how everything's affecting them, and then to wake up one day and just know that one of your legends is like gone. It's really heartbreaking. But he left behind a very good legacy. Like, I don't know if you've seen that one video of him wearing the red overalls, where he looked like he was singing to like the whole United States. I was like, good God, like this man is just, who else is out here doing that? And then that's like, you look at stuff like that, even though he's in the music industry, me trying to be an entertainer in general, looking at something like that, it's almost like, bro, like, you're so inspiring. I want to do something like that. Even though you were singing, maybe I can get on the stage in front of that many people and do comedy. So it's very inspiring to see stuff like that.
Okay, okay. All right, so next in celebrity news, we recent Little Nas X. He just recently dropped a video. Everybody says it's controversial. It's sending mixed messages, but I want to get your take on it, man, because from my point of view and from yours, we see this man. He's dressing up in all these different wigs and hair and nails and shit, and then he's on a pole, like. So I just gotta get your thoughts, man. Like, what's your thoughts on that whole Lil Nas X video?
Um, Hey, what I have to say about that, to be honest, is, hey, the man is actually doing whatever he got to do, because, to be honest with you, his marketing standpoint is very genius, because it's like he caught everybody's attention. You got churches, you got regular everyday people, you got everybody talking about this man. He's trending number one, back to back to back to back to back. So it's like, from a marketing standpoint, because that man is a very good genius, and to be as young as he is and getting your name and your platform out there and getting that big that quick, it's just like, wow. That's, again, so it's almost like the DMX thing. It's kind of inspirational to look at it like, bro, how are y'all just everyday people learning the system and beating the system every day to show, like, okay, I started here, but this is where I want to be. And not only did they start here and this is where they want to be, they got there. So now they're trying to figure out, this is where I am now. How can I get to that next level? So when they do stuff like that, and like they're getting their numbers and their name is out there, they're moving past that level that they stopped at, and they're going further than what they did, because they know, like, okay, I'm here, but now I want to get here. So how do I get to that point? So, yeah.
Okay. All right, and so my last thing I want to kind of get into, speaking on entertainment wise, man. Our last thing, speaking on, and I'm not sure how familiar you are, but Kurt Franklin and his son had an altercation, well, not an altercation, verbal, and of course, again, as you said, the world took it by storm. So I got to know from you, man, what was that like? Either hearing the video, seeing the video, and hearing that audio, and just.
uh, I heard the audio. I didn't really see the video. I saw like 2 seconds of it, but I heard the audio. That, I mean, it almost brought back memories, because I know Kurt Franklin is supposed to be this big idol in Christianity and everything, which I have no problem with. But come on now, like, every parent has that day where they're looking at their kids like, bro, I brought you in this world and I will take you out. So, like, no, the son didn't have to do what he did, but at the same time, it's just like, That's almost like normal, but it's almost like the world wants to look at it as a negative because it's just like, oh, it's Kirk Franklin and such and such and such and such. But at the same time, it's just like, even if, you know, behind closed doors that happen, I mean, it's a father and son, it's a mom and a daughter, it's anything that goes on with the family. It's just like, okay, it's just family. That's family stuff. Like, that's normal. People, everyday people hear that, but because he has so much stuff around his name, they just want to blow it up and make it out of proportion. But that's normal. Stuff like that is just normal.
Okay. Okay. So real quick, switching gears, and I appreciate your all your feedback on all these different topics, man. I definitely appreciate it. So real quick, man. Also, we recently had an unfortunate situation. The young man Dante Wright, who was killed by police. I got to get your thoughts, man. What were your thoughts on that? Seeing
So
another black man, being taken down by police.
I've heard about it. I have yet to really read into it because I've been so busy with work. But well, first of all, rest in peace. It was a very sad story to hear about. So I've heard bits and pieces. I don't really know too much about it. But from what I did hear about it, I heard that, what was it? The cop was chasing him down, and instead of pulling the taser, she pulled out the gun. So this all this stuff going on to me is like, I don't know, man. It's very controversial, and I really don't like what is happening in that type of community. And I really hope that we get justice for his death and anybody else's death that's wrongfully taken by, just whatever the world is trying to put out there, man. It's just crazy.
Most definitely. And then lastly, speaking on, worldly news, we had the the guy Dante Shaven, he finally got charged and was found guilty, for the whole George Floyd situation. So to hear that kind of news and to see, the response of, that of him being convicted of the murder of George Floyd, what were your thoughts on that?
Oh man, he got what he deserved, man. That was a long time coming. To be honest, that whole movement is really what started right before the corona, the whole marching, the Black Lives Matter. Like, he actually got what he needed to get. Like, to be honest, that's just how I feel about it. In my opinion, he got what he needed to get. So
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate you, bro, for speaking on, all these celebrity news and trending topics. So now I want to kind of get back into another. I want to kind of switch gears once again. So, seeing as though we have so many young up and coming aspiring comedians and people tapping into YouTube and things of that nature. What advice do you have for the younger up and coming people that are trying to tap into this YouTube and comedy scene? Like, what do you have for them?
first and foremost, every YouTuber will say this one thing. If you don't remember anything else I say, consistency. That's really what it is. Like, consistency and just perseverance, though, because, like, honestly, to me, I've had those days where I was like, bro, I don't know if I want to do this. And I've also had my days where I'm like, okay, well, let me do this and take a little break, or let me do this. And so, like, consistency is what I would say, to be honest. And don't be afraid to go out there and, like, if you have an idea, like, say, when I first started, I was always at the house making videos. So I would come up with ideas at my house, and I'd be like, okay, let me execute this and post this. Okay. So then it became, what if I executed this outside the house and got more people included, so that way it felt more like a relatable type of channel? So it's like, okay, so now I'm opening up my bubble to be like, okay, so instead of just sitting at the house, I'm going to go out. Or instead of just sitting at the house, I'm going to go on someone else's YouTube channel. I'm going to bring someone else from their YouTube channel onto my YouTube channel. But yeah, consistency is definitely the key. Like, the only thing I don't that I don't necessarily like about YouTube is editing. But other than that, if you can really get past the editing, consistency, if you know you really want to do it, whether it's comedy, singing, gaming, vlogs, all of that, I promise you, if you stay consistent, you'll start to see some feedback sooner or later. Just stay consistent. Just stay consistent.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right. So now I want to kind of get into the music scene for a little bit. we've been having these ongoing versus battles, man. We've had so many that has been produced by Timbaland and Swiss Beats. We recently just had Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers, go 1-on-1. Then we just last night, it was told to me that Method Man and Redman went 1-on-1, man. So I gotta get your thoughts, man, on these battles alone, just from the beginning to now. Like, what is your thoughts on seeing, iconic groups and iconic superstars just come together and just travel back down memory lane and just really put you back in that space of where you remember where you was, or you remember how old you was when you first heard the song?
To be honest, I think it's actually pretty cool to see like people that we grew up on doing these iconic and also memorable like versus battles, because it's like when they go live, like if they go live and they're starting to play songs, it starts to unlock little memories that you used to have. Like, hey, I used to listen to this song all the time, or hey, my mom used to play this song in the car. So it brings back a lot of memories, and then to see, like, it's almost like a crossover TV show, because it's like, bro, I wonder if such and such got a room with such and such, and how would they clash and everything. So it's like looking at it like that, it's almost like very iconic, and these are actually very genius, because it's like you are getting a lot of people to, a lot of feedback, because it's just like, bro, I would have never thought like y'all two would ever meet, because sometimes you might have like let's just say, I'm just throwing names out there, like a big name artist like Ludacris, and then you got someone like Eminem, and you thought they would never meet, but here they are in a versus battle. You're like, oh, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself.
Right,
So
right.
it's very nostalgic. It really is.
Okay, okay. All right. Again, switching gears. And I tend to switch gears from time to time.
Oh, you good?
All right. So, this pandemic, man, has truly changed us all in some way, shape, or form, man, and it has truly taken a mind of its own. And now, kind of with the world kind of opening back up, and restrictions being lifted and things like that, and people being able to get back out into the world. How do you feel about the world reopening and being able to kind of somewhat kind of get back to the normal thing, to the normal way of things, of how America used to be?
Me personally, I never really shut down, to be honest.
Oh,
So I mean, I'm not the club type of person. I'm not a club scene. I'm not a strip club scene. I'm not really none of that. So to me, the stuff that I got to do was stuff that was like, I don't know, going out to hang out with my friends, maybe at the park, or like maybe going to my friend's house or stuff like that. Maybe we might go out to like a hookah bar or something like that. So like with some of that stuff being cut back, it's almost like nothing really changed for me, because I was just like, okay, I'm still doing the same things I did before, just not as much. So, because certain bars would open for a certain amount of time, and certain places would be like, okay, we're only open on these days and we close the rest of these days. So it was like, for me personally, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, oh, everything opening back up is just like, oh yes, I love it. I'm grateful for it. And I don't feel like it's gonna be the same at that point too, because it's just like when the coronavirus hit, it hit hard. So like we was all last year quarantine, everybody was in the house. But a lot of that quarantine stuff actually brought out the best in a lot of people. Like it brought out a lot of people, like people that you would have never thought. Like some people that were famous got more famous. Some people that would never knew about got famous out of nowhere, because it's like, now that you're sitting at home quarantine, now you have more time on the internet. Now you have more time to start looking and researching more things, and like that's the people that's looking for it. But like now the people that's honing on their craft, it comes like new ideas and like new ways, like, okay, well, there's no more concerts, so we can't do concerts. Let's do viral concerts. So there, and then Tory Lanez made the quarantine radio, got everybody on top of that. So it's like, with the world opening back up, I feel like the stuff that we used to do back in quarantine is still fun. But now that the world's opening back up, it is very nice to see like stuff opening back up in places. You can go places. But I feel like because we were locked down for so long, I feel like the world is like almost forever changed, to be honest with you. It's not really going to be the same. But hey, we find a way to make it through everything.
okay, okay. So real quick and real briefly, talk us a little bit about what was growing up like for you. Growing up as a kid, and then finally coming into your own as a man and realizing what it was that you wanted to do. What was childhood like for you?
Childhood was actually very, very smooth. Like, to be honest with you, my mom was in the army, so I got to visit a lot of places. But for anybody that asks me, I will always tell them I was born in Washington State, but I grew up in Japan. I did, I think, 13 years altogether over there. So I do qualify myself some part as Japanese, to be honest. But like, as a kid, I was just having fun. Like, I know not a lot of people get to experience life. You know, some kids out there that have to be like have strict parents. My mom was never really strict. It was just go to school and make sure you're doing good grades. And if you're doing good in school, then you can come home and have fun. I didn't really do nothing too crazy, to be honest with you. Like, I've I actually had a really smooth childhood. Like, but if you go through my YouTube channel and you see like story times from when I was younger, that's more of my teenage years. I wasn't bad, but at the same time, it was like I've seen a lot to be my age, to be honest. I've seen a very lot to be my age. But my childhood was actually pretty fun. Always having fun, making people laugh and people making me laugh and always adventuring going somewhere. Like, I don't like to sit in one spot for way too long. I just don't. I don't like to sit in one spot for too long.
That's understandable. That's understandable. Okay, so give us your favorite childhood memory of all time.
Ooh. Favorite childhood memory of all time. It's actually two, but I'll tell you one of them. All right, so it was in Japan, and we had these things. I don't remember. I think it was a typhoon. Don't quote me. I think it's what it's called. But it was like 60-mile-per-hour wind, the wind, and it was raining, and like everything was going sideways and everything like that. But I was outside in the middle of this rain. I think it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I had to be at least 8, 9. I can't really remember, 8 or 9. And I had this friend. His name was Keely. He was Hawaiian, but we was all in Japan. So we went to his backyard in the middle of this storm, and we were just jumping on his trampoline for like 4 or 5 hours straight in the middle of this storm, just having fun. And I think right after the storm ended, we ended up going to get hot coffee, hot cocoa from somebody, and just, you know, chilling the whole vibe and the whole rest of the night, to be honest. And that, I will never forget that. That was literally one of my favorite moments, easily one of my favorite moments in my life.
Okay. Okay. So real quick, man, I want to ask you this, man, because, you know, we have so many people from all over the world who battle and deal with, you know, mental health a lot. And a lot of people are dealing with anxiety, you know, low self-esteem, depression, things of that nature. But I want you to talk directly to the people, for some people out there that are watching, the people out there that are listening, that needs that encouragement, that needs that laugh, that needs, you know, that extra boost of strength to keep them going throughout their day. What can you say to them that will help them to understand that, you know, son, this isn't, you know, what it seems to be?
To me, okay, so for encouraging words, honestly, I have been through certain situations myself, so I kind of know what it feels like. But at the same time, I would tell you that there's always someone out there that's going to watch you. There's always someone out there that's going to take care of you. There's always going to be someone that can give you some encouraging words. So like, I wouldn't say necessarily to rely on that person, but just listen to your surroundings, because if you say that something is going on in your life, there's always going to be that one person. I've always opened up my door to anybody who asks, like, if you have problems, if you have any issues, I don't want you to be alone. So you can always come to me, because I want to know what your problem is, because you never know, you might be saving a life. Like, if somebody's going through something that they just can't feel like they want to talk to it with other people, and you just open that door, just open that door for them to let them know, hey, look, if you need something, I'm here. If you got a problem, I'm here. And so I guess that's another thing. That's really another reason, like one of my many multiple reasons on why I started YouTube also, because it's just like, I've heard the stories behind these big name YouTubers, and I see their fan bases. Some of them be like, bro, you saved my life with the videos that you've made. Like, your content changed my life, and everything that you're doing. It's just, I see that and I look at it, like, at first I didn't really understand it, because I was like, bro, if he's making content, how is that changing your life? Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't look at it a bad perspective. I almost looked at it like, what does he mean? So I started to dig more into it, and I started to believe it more. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So like, me being the person that I am and showing my energy, my happy comedy energy, my funny videos, my funny vlogs, my everyday uplifting attitude, makes almost pretty much, it's like I'm talking to that person. Like I'm almost talking to every one of my subscribers that has a problem in their life, and they're just like, okay, well, maybe this night might be the day, but if I watch Gemini Kidd's video today, it'll put me in a better mood. So like, to be honest, like I said, just watch your surroundings. If you need someone to talk to, I'm always open to talk to anybody. I'm always, because I love to help people. That's another thing. I'm a very people person. So like, I love to help people in problems, and just help out whenever I can.
Most definitely, most definitely. All right, now I want to kind of get into another topic that is very rarely really talked about, but with we have as they call it, the LGBT community. We have so many people who are living different lifestyles within that community, and so many people whom have lost their lives behind it. So I gotta get your thoughts, man. What is your whole perspective on the LGBT community, and how do you see them as the community rising above all of what has been thrown at them, has been said to them, done to them? How can you rise above that?
To be honest, I say more power to them. I have no problem with that community. I am very welcoming of a lot of people. Like to me, at the end of the day, I look at it like this. If you like the same sex, you like the same sex. If you don't, you don't. But that don't mean I gotta distance myself from you. That don't mean I gotta have problems with you. To me, it's like you are who you are, and at the end of the day, we are humans. So to me, it's just like, if that's what you like, I'm okay with it. Now, is what they're doing in the world to the people that are in that community wrong? Yes, because it's like, bro, everybody has a voice and everybody has their own personality, just like you do, the person that's heading on the community. So it's almost like there should be no reason, because at the end of the day, if someone doesn't like, if it's to me like this, if you don't like that type of person, then don't put yourself around them. But at the same time, if you don't put yourself around them, don't go looking for a way to put yourself in that predicament to make you look like a bad person, because all that's going to do is make you look worse. So like, if you have a problem with that community, then don't say nothing about it. Like, just keep it to yourself, because they're not doing nothing to you. So don't do nothing to them. That's just how I
Right.
feel about it.
Okay. Okay. So my next topic, man, social media. Social media, of course, as you know, has blown up and has taken a mind of its own. But I gotta ask, man, being a part of social media, being a part of YouTube, doing all these different things that you're doing, man, how has social media helped you and benefited you, for you? Like, what has it done for you, physically and mentally?
Again, like I was kind of touching points on earlier, it's made me jump out of my bubble. Like it really has, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a very extroverted person. I love meeting new people. But then like, you have the meeting new people as far as walking around in the mall, getting the people in the video, or just walking around, giving out my cards and everything. So that's meeting people like that. But then when you get social media, you're not just looking at those couple of people. You're talking about millions and millions of people that are all over the world. So like, people that I never thought I was reaching, I found out I was reaching. So like, let's just say I'm making videos in South Carolina. Someone in Texas is just like, oh my gosh, you're my favorite. So love from Texas. And it's like, so the social media platform helps me put out my what I do into other places that I can't reach physically at this time. So it's like, it helps out. It's like almost like a big helper, because it's just like, once people start to know, because I feel like I've put in the hard work. I've been doing YouTube for 4 years. I put in a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. So it's like, when people start to notice me from other places, it's almost like, bro, what I'm doing on my social media platforms, as far as like TikToks or funny videos, viral videos and stuff like that, it's working. So it's really nice to know that social media can help you put out more of who you are to the world, pretty much.
Facts. All right. Did you ever question that this would have been your destiny, that this would have been your landmark, your field of where you strive the best in? Did you ever think that, or did you have other plans set?
Um, okay, plan wise, I did, but I didn't have another plan. But what I had a plan for was kind of almost in the same field. So like, I used to want to be like a photographer and a videographer. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do those on the side. but it's like it turned from being those things to like turning into, okay, comedy and videography is just what I do now. So it's just like I might give myself pointers to where I'd be like, okay, well, I could take my videography it's almost like I'm merging them together. So I'll take like comedy and like videography and I put it together and I put on YouTube. So vlogs or like random clips of something. So like, I don't know if you've seen, but I make like short little films. And then like, maybe I think it was 3 months ago, I actually
Right.
got into making music videos. So I do music videos on the side, not me personally. I kind of like film and direct them. So like, I'm still doing what I thought I was going to do before, but I'm also doing what I want to do now. So I feel like it's always been some type of destiny of mine to get into any type of digital world, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. So I gotta ask you this, man. You know, out of all the supporters that you've had, out of all the people that that have watched you, from then to now, man. Have you had any of those crazy experiences with somebody that was just like, oh my gosh, it's Gemini the kid.
Uh,
Like I'm like you said, like I'm literally in front of this man. Like, have you
I
had those?
don't I don't think I have. I mean, I wouldn't say it was that, not yet. Not for that much. I haven't been that far yet. But I have there was this app. I forgot what it was called, but it was like you get on there, you talk to someone for like 13 seconds and then they go away. So I was just going through promoting, and it was just this one kid. I clicked on it and I was kind of doing my own thing, like paying attention, and I turned around and he said, "Oh my God, it's GeminiThaKidd!" And like the timer was counting down. It was like 5, 4, 3, and I was like, "Wait!" I was trying to comprehend what was going on, so I was like, I said, "Yeah, it's me." He said, "Oh my God, I love you!" And then it cut off, and I was like, "Bro, what just happened?" I said, "What just happened?" But it was a complete stranger I didn't even know. So I was like, "Bro, this is crazy."
Most definitely. Okay. Okay. And so my last two things I want to kind of get into real quick. When it comes to hobbies and things that you love to do outside of what you do already, has there been any other things hobby wise that you love to do just in your spare time when you're by yourself?
Yes, there is two. So I, of course, love playing video games, but most people don't really know this about me. I don't know if I still have the pictures on my Instagram, but if I don't, I start to post more. But if you start to scroll further down, I draw. I love to draw. So like I haven't drawn in maybe like a year, so I do need to get back on it. But I do love to draw. It's a hobby of mine that I really like to do. Most times I do it when I'm bored, but I like to draw, and I've been told I'm really good at. That's also another thing that I was starting to do. The drawing thing. I was going to get into the drawing scene, but it just kind of like turned into YouTube. But hey, don't get me wrong though. I have something to fall back on if YouTube don't work out for me. But I know it's going to work. But drawing is something I love to do. It's a good pastime for me. It lets me clear my mind. It lets me like focus and everything. So when I'm drawing, I just feel like I'm in my own world.
Okay. Okay. And so my last and final thing, man, when it's all said and done and you hang it all up, whenever that may be, what is the one thing or the one message behind you as a person and with the legacy that you've already created for yourself? What is the one thing that you want the people mostly to remember about you, Gemini the Kid?
To be honest, that I was the most. So to be honest with you, I want the people to be like, okay, I want him to be like, he is the most realest person I've ever met, because like I know I'm not trying to like downplay any of these content creators or nothing like that, because I'm pretty sure I don't really know them personally, but I've seen and heard stories from past people. But like I've heard that some people are not the same person that they are on camera, off camera. Me, I don't ever want people, like, if anything, if everybody remembers me, I want them to know that everything about my YouTube and everything about my content and anything that you see me on, same person I am on screen, same person I am off screen. Nothing, there's
Most
no
definitely.
different. There's nothing to change. It's the same person.
Most definitely, most definitely. Okay, well, Gemini the Kid, brother, we have truly enjoyed you. I have truly enjoyed you. We finally got this opportunity, down and chop it up, man. Because I said you're such a busy dude, and I'm beyond proud of you. I definitely am a big fan of yours. And anytime that I get a chance to, to chop it up, definitely makes me feel good. I remember. Then this was probably some years ago, but I remember I met you the very first time. I think it was at the Lincoln Theater. I think it was. It was either the Lincoln Theater or the Poorhouse, one of them. And I remember you had went on stage and you had did your comedy thing, and afterwards I just sat back in amazement. I was just like, wow, like this dude is really like that. He's really talented. So said, man, I give you all the credit, man, for everything that you're doing, man, because you're truly changing the game. And there's so many people out here, that I wish that had your same mindset, that knew how to, you know, not only inspire people, but be able to make people laugh, man. Because like I said, there's so much going on all over the world. There's so much tragedy going on. Like I said, with the whole police brutality. Then you have, such iconic stars like DMX passing away, things like that. So, when you think about all of that, and then this whole pandemic, shutting everything, people losing jobs, people not really making money, things of that nature, it puts you in that space to make you feel like, well, damn, like, what is my purpose? What is my goal? So again, to have somebody like you that can kind of put that fire back into people, that really is a really dope thing. And I appreciate you for everything that you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
And I definitely can't wait, like I said again, to see what you got coming next. I definitely want to bring you back.
Oh
the door
yeah.
is always open, and maybe possibly, if I can get on one of your YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, I'm always down for it.
Yeah, want to get in on one of them videos because it seems like a lot of fun, and just to be around you, I can feel just through the vibe and through the conversation, man, that you know how to keep the vibe, and you know how to, even when somebody, it's like they say, how they say, like, you can read body language and shit like that.
Yeah.
Read body, yes, but you're able to pick up on certain things and be able to kind of channel into it, and then be able to kind of like bring that person where they may be feeling like they're about to jump off that cliff, but you instantly bring them back over the cliff.
Yeah.
Like, that really is amazing. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Independent Scene Podcast with yours truly, Honcho J, and my guest, GeminiThaKidd. We truly thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. Please share, like, and comment on this video. Please share with your friends, share with your family. This video will be going live. Will be going on YouTube tonight, 12 o'clock midnight. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. GeminiThaKidd, is there anything else that you want the people to know before we get up out of here?
Don't forget that consistency. That's all I gotta say. Don't forget it.
Real quick, where can the people follow you at? Where can they tap in with you at?
All right, so on YouTube, it's GeminiThaKidd, Gemini space the kid with 2 D's. And then Instagram is Gemini_the_kid, 2 D's. That's all I use.
Well, with that being said, brother, we thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. And I look forward to seeing you again and chopping it up with you again some more, all right?
All right, thank you, man.
Most definitely. And guys, this has been my time. I'm Honcho J, and we're out.